What's up, guys? David the Thrifty Mechanic here with another video for you. I'm going to be talking about automotive sales today. Now, you guys remember back a few months ago, I was talking about sales, and I was talking about like how to get started and stuff like that, and pretty much I didn't give you much info at all. So I'm going to kind of talk about that a little bit and explain a little bit more on what I meant by automotive sales. I'm not talking about selling cars. However, anything I talk about, it could be applied to anything you do in the sales field, retail field, whatever you want to call it. And when it can appear, because it's broad. Sales is the same across any board. You have to know what you're selling. You have to know your product. You have to know the services you render. Because if you don't, somebody else will, and you'll lose your sale. So, first and foremost, we're going to start off with how to get those customers in the door. And the first one is advertisement. If you own your own business, you know all about this. You want to get your name out there. You want people to come to your business. You don't want just word of mouth, because it'll take a while for you to build a customer base of solid, reliable customers and have a steady flow of income because of it. So you'll starve the first couple of years doing that. However, investing in some small things can make a huge difference if you own your own business. If you are a employee at a already established business, for instance, like a tire store, if you work in the automotive business and you just got into like working front end, well, you probably won't be given cards off the bat, but whenever you do, take a few with you. Take 4 or 5 with you wherever you go. And because you'll hear it. You'll hear them, especially once you start getting used to sales. You'll hear people talking about like, yeah, I got to find somewhere to get tires and all that stuff, and that's your moment. That's when you say, hey, I can help you out, man. Here you go. My name's David. Don't forget me. I'll take good care of you, and I'll give you the best price you can find. And they don't care about any part other than you taking care of them and getting them the best price that you can find. So that's all they care about. Anything else goes out the window. It doesn't come until later when you prove to them that you are an honest salesperson, and that's where you start making your money. Anybody who works in sales know, like automotive sales, that tires don't bring a lot of money. They don't have a really high profit margin. Services is where the money's at. So services, chemicals, pretty much stuff like that. That's a big go-to. So when you're pushing services, you got to be very, very mindful. You got to make sure you're not trying to over-service these vehicles. You have to be mindful of the fact that the person you're talking to probably is not made of money. So he's probably going to reject a lot of those services, especially if they're really expensive. So what I like to do is I call it soft selling, meaning you sell them on some stuff. You tell them, hey, say he needs brakes, he needs coolant flush, and he needs a serpentine belt. The serpentine belt is old and cracked. The brakes are gone, and the coolant is extremely old. So, you go order of importance. Order of what's going to destroy my car first or cause me to have a problem first. Obviously, you start with the brakes. You tell them, hey man, or hello sir, my name's David, I'll be taking care of you. We got your preventative maintenance inspection back, and we found that your brakes were extremely low. The fronts are completely gone, and the rears are not far behind. We noticed that your belt is older than can be. It's cracked, and it looks like it's on its last legs. And your coolant looks like it's not been changed in some time, too. Would you like to take care of that this afternoon, or this morning, or whenever you're doing this? And chances are they're going to be like, well, can I make them wait? Like, I don't have the money for all of that right now. And there's your moment. That's when you say, well, I tell you what, we'll go with the things that are the most important first. Your brakes are life-saving. You need those. If they aren't there the moment you need them the most, you can get into a horrible car accident. Don't try to scare them. Don't say, if you don't do this, you're going to get in a wreck. Just say, these are a safety item. It's one of those things that if you don't get it, the one time you need them, they may not be there. And that's the risk. You won't get that with a serpentine belt. You won't get that with coolant. Albeit both of them are extremely important, they will not save your life. So you could tell them, well, instead of getting everything, let's just go with the most important stuff first. Are you interested in getting your brakes done today? We can get you in right now. We can start on it right now. And they'll say, how much? So you work up a fair price and you let them know the price. Most places, if they're established businesses, have a normal, like, average cost, and then they even it out, and they'll eat the cost if it's a little more expensive, and they'll reap the benefits if it's a little cheaper. So most places will charge like $300 for the front end and about $600 for the front and rear. Pretty typical. Actually, a little low if you go to the dealership. Dealership's about $400, $450 in the front and rear for one side, one axle. So when you're wondering, like, how you can start the sale off, use what you know. Call them by their name. Say, hello, Mr. Bill, or whatever his last name is. And if he says, call me Dale, remember that. If you can, make a note in his file, his customer file, to refer to him by his first name. Because that stuff is stuff that people remember. I tell you what, there's a couple of restaurants that I go to and they know me by name, and it makes me feel like $1,000,000 that these people know me. And it makes me feel good because they take care of me. They know I'm going to pay them. They know I'm going to tip them. It's a different experience, and you'll develop loyalty like that. So calling them by their first name, or being respectful and saying yes sir, no sir, until spoken against and said, hey, I work for a living, or something like that. That's totally different. So now you've got the sale started. Now you need to be able to confirm that sale and work on that sale. So they're going to be like, well, can all of it wait? I really can't afford it right now. And, say, I totally get that. I mean, none of us are made of money forever. If we were, we wouldn't be working. So, like, I can totally understand that, and as can any other person in this world. So you explain to them that, you wouldn't recommend it. It's one of those things like, brakes are a safety item. There's a lot of regulation that goes into your brakes from the government and everything else, and there's a reason for it. And that's because your brakes are what slow your vehicle down from 85 miles an hour or 80 miles an hour or whatever you're at. They are there for the sole purpose of stopping your car. So they need to be regulated and strong and safe. And hell, some places like New York, you have to get an annual inspection every year before you get your tags. And if, say, your brakes are gone, or you have a check engine light on, or anything like that, you can't get your tags till you get that fixed. Because you get your tags from the service stations, not from the DMV. Or I think you got to get a signed thing from the service station and then take that to the DMV, and then they give you your tag. So it's something like that. I just know you got to get it serviced before anything. So if you live in New York, or you live in one of those states that have a regulation to have your car inspected every single year to make sure that it's working and it's safe to operate on the road, go ahead and leave a comment down in the description. I am curious about that to see where that's at. So now that you know that you've got the deal started, you've got the people interested in the sale, you're working on it. So you start asking them questions. Well, when was the last time you had your brakes serviced? They'll say, oh, I don't know. Or they'll give you some bogus answer like 6 months ago or something like that. They'll lie to you, bold-faced lie to you to your face. Like we had a guy come in one time, his car's power steering pump was going, Wah! It was like a 1-year-old car. And I said, I wonder why your car's acting like that. He was like, I don't know. I don't know. So we go through his car, and we found that he was using the wrong fluid in his power steering. He bought universal fluid, or he had universal fluid put in, and it's supposed to take Dexron, which is a transmission fluid. So That's why it was acting funny, because the additives weren't there for it. And don't ever, 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 ever buy universal fluid for your car. Buy whatever it asks for. If it asks for Dexron 3, you put Dexron 3 in. It might cost you more, but trust me, it'll make your stuff last longer, and you won't get any whining out of it as often, and it's better along the board. So we had a customer come in with that. He bold-faced lied to me and said he never did anything, and sure enough, the whole system was with this universal stuff, and there's no way in hell he could have done it without going to a shop to have it flushed. So he lied to his bold face. It's whatever. It happens. You don't get upset about it. It's just, you just roll your eyes and move on. So you're working on it. You ask them questions. You try to get the information that you need to tell the tech. Now, that tech may or may not be you. But if you're just a sales guy, you're the service advisor, whatever, it's not going to be you. So you need to give as much detail as possible, like front brakes, really low, R&R. So front brakes R&R, rear brakes R&R, test and advise for sounds. Go from there. Try to make it worth that customer's while. Like, if you guys have like a company credit card or something like that, like offer to sell that to them. Like, be like, hey, if you don't have the money for it right now and you still need to get the service done, there's no doubt about it, it's definitely needing done. We have a credit card. It's 6 months or whatever, no interest. Then do that. Try and get them to get that credit card, because a lot of times as sales associates, you get spiffs for stuff. Like, you get spiffs for meeting sales goals. You get spiffs for credit cards. You get spiffs for selling tires. You get all that stuff. They want to motivate you to sell. So to motivate you to sell, they hang the carrot out in front of you. It's just up to you to bite it. So with that, you have to hone your craft. So you've worked on it. You know what's wrong with the car now. You know what to tell the tech. Now to seal the deal. So sealing the deal is probably the hardest part, because people don't really recognize how much stuff costs and how much it costs to run an automotive repair shop. And they think that the prices that you give them are absolutely bogus and outrageous. So what you do at that moment, and you can do this at the beginning of working with them, and show them what you're working on. Take them out in the shop. Have the techs pull the wheels off, because you cannot check brakes. I don't give a damn how good your eyes are. You cannot check brakes without pulling those tires off to get a good hard look, because you can't see that inner brake pad. That outer brake pad might be shot, but the inner brake pad might be perfect. So you won't know you need a caliper till you take the wheels off and you're just selling him brake pads and rotors, and now he needs a caliper. And then so I got to call him back, or you got to call him back, because that guy didn't take the tires off to check it and make sure that things weren't hunky-dory to begin with. So it creates a big issue. So make sure you have those tires taken off if you're selling brakes or whatever you're selling. Make sure you go out there, do the 2 minutes of management. Say, show me. Is the brakes bad? Are the brakes bad? Tires are off? Show me. It's not, I don't believe you. Show me. I need to see this. That way, if push comes to shove and he wants to come out here and see it, I know what to show him, and I don't look like an idiot whenever I tell him your brakes are gone, and he looks and there's 50% brake life left. So it's just to save you a lot of trouble and a lot of chewing and a lot of backpedaling and tail wagging to do that. It takes 2 minutes, man. So once you've started the deal and you've showed them what's wrong with the car, they see it, they acknowledge it, you can start sealing the deal. Now with this, you need to work with them, offer them deals, tell them, I tell you what, you get this service this time, whenever you bring your car in next for the oil change, it's on me. You get the oil change free, just let us do the next service as well. A lot of times people getting stuff free, it tickles them to death. It could be a $20 thing and it'll tickle them to death and they'll just keep coming back. So it's one of those things that you got to work with people, and nobody's made of money. So you got to understand that they're not going to have $1,000 to drop on a radiator flush, a coolant flush, a brakes, and whatever else you need done. So it's you just gotta understand that. So once you start sealing the deal, you got to make sure you take in all the discounts and stuff, and you tell them, look, I found as many discounts as I could for you. We saved you X amount of money, say $62 today, getting that brake job done because we found better parts for less money. We went to a different provider or something like that. And, make them feel like they are getting respected. You want to make them feel like they are just the king of the damn castle. Because the more you do that, don't kiss their ass, but the more you do that, the better things will be. If you talk to them like a human being, you're not like, oh, yes, sir. Oh, totally, sir. They're not going to feel like things are iffy. But if you're sitting there talking to them, you're like, look, sir, this is what you need. This is what we can do. If you don't want to do that, we can put this, and off, and you really need to do this. This is more of a safety item. Be straight with them. You'll know how to handle the customer based on how they come in. If they come in a suit and tie, talk to them, yes sir, no sir. A lot of them are very, very high up. If they come in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt, talk to them like a normal Joe. But treat them all with respect. I know that sometimes they'll get belligerent, but you have to say, I'm sorry. I am sorry that we upset you in some way. But this is the rules. I cannot bend them. These are the rules. These are the policies that I have been given by my job. And I cannot bend them for you, sir. If I could, I would, but I can't. Maintain that you have to follow the protocols of your business. Because if you don't, you can wind up without a job. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. When you seal that deal, make sure you thank them for their time. Thank them for doing the services with you guys, and you look forward to them coming back. If they seem really, really pissed off, you probably messed something up somewhere down the line. They should be happy to get their cars fixed most of the time. If they know that their car's fine and you're just trying to nickel and dime them, they're going to know it and they're not going to be happy with you and they're never going to come back. So you want that repeat customer. You don't want the one customer that comes in, pays $1,100 and says, I'm never going to them again, assholes. You want to be like, that wasn't bad at all. I'm going to keep going here. I'm going to tell all my friends. And guess what? So instead of just having one repeat customer that might spend $100 or $200 every time he comes in getting stuff done, you have 5 of them coming in. $100 to $200 getting stuff done. So you just beat that one-time sale of $1,000 and you've got that next one coming in again. So you want to treat people with respect. If you haven't had a chance, read Carl Sewell's Customer for Life. It is a great book. It's a quick read. It's only like 180 pages or something like that. It's pretty quick. And it'll tell you everything, the ins and outs of customer service in the automotive business nonetheless. It'll tell you the ins and outs of customer service, how to treat customers, and how to grow as a salesman, and how to be successful. So I hope this video was helpful for you guys. And I look forward to posting another one for you here shortly. I actually got a job now. I'm no longer a jobless bum. So I will keep you in touch with what's going on in that respect. It's kind of like a video logging series as well as a normal video for me. So thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't already, make sure you slam that like button and slam the subscribe button if you aren't already subscribed. If you haven't had a chance yet, check out toolvector.com, our channel sponsor, and buy some stuff from them. They're great guys and they'll take good care of you. They warranty their stuff. They're awesome. So make sure you check them out. And as always, guys, stay thrifty, be courteous to one another, and be safe. Thanks for watching.